In
10.
theory. In theory, 10. 5,
5,
4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1. Let's
1.
go.
Michael Jackson style.
Jackson. All right. And then we find out what the stream delay is, of course, of course. Alright, so this is the PK Scramble inaugural tournament. PK Scramble is an Earthbound key item randomizer. If you're not familiar with it, just ask in chat and we'll give you the whole spiel. But we've been doing this for a little bit now, so we won't repeat ourselves unless there are new people in here. New people are super welcome, by the way. We're just going to wait for you to show up before explaining everything. This is ChargingCharles versus Aurilliux. This is a very, anticipated match. These are some of our fastest runners. Ori missed one round of qualifiers and ended up a little lower in seeding than people expected. So this is kind of a preview of later on in the bracket. I already mentioned during the pre-show, I am Jay Tolmar. I created this rando, and I'm joined by Crimson Green, one of our runners. And I already asked you, but how are you doing today?
I am doing well. Doing well. Looks like the runners themselves are doing the standard first round of checks.
Yep, just got to go up the mountain. Unless we have randomized start locations, that'll basically always be the same. And this is a very carroty looking mountain with its bright orange grass.
The field of carrots.
Field of carrots. Four-side teleport. That opens up a lot.
Yeah, Foresight opens up both Moonside and the mines in Dusty Dunes, which means early access to Repel sandwiches, which is always a nice bonus.
Yeah, and on top of that, it has several different checks that are opened up by a single item. And Ori's found the Wad of Bills. That's an item you typically like to see because it gets you to 3'd.
Gotta get to Tucson first.
Gotta get to Tucson. Of course, it's entirely possible they never get to Tucson and there's some other way to get to 3'd, in which case that item is useless.
Or we don't go to 3'd at all.
That is possible, but very rare. There's just a lot going on in 3'd that makes you end up going there.
Yep.
A pack of bubblegum for Aurilliux. And Charles is checking Winters first.
Seems like Winters is the early play where Logic is sending you, so we'll see. We'll see how tough whoever Frankie is, quote unquote Frankie.
Yeah.
Also get the early. Yeah.
There's zombie paper over there in Winters.
Zombie paper, yeah.
Yeah, I usually do it the way that Chargles here is doing it, where you go check that first thing. It looks like he's
Makes sense.
doing Moonside first, which is a little unusual.
Yeah.
Ori looks like he's gonna have a bad time against these punks.
Yeah, it looks like they're doing some good damage early, and he's only doing 1.
Yeah.
So it looks like Chargles might might have lucked out there.
Yeah, maybe he just was like, it's always this.
But he is also only doing 1 damage. So it looks like Winters is where we're going.
Interesting. I don't think Chargles has his pack of bubblegum yet, so he doesn't even know that's a real option.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I wonder if he's going to check out the packages here and see where it takes him.
Yeah, that's always a good play. I can't remember whose race it was, but one of the races shortly ago, one of the runners just ended up loads and loads ahead because they looted this place when it was ahead.
Mm-hmm. That's what the last week's weekly, that's what seemed like the play was going into Magicant and getting some good stuff early.
Oh yeah, Magicant's great for that. Last week's weekly was fun because we had open spoiler logs. So people just actually looking at those spoiler logs and finding out just how loaded Magicant can be.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I studied those logs.
Yeah, some people will put a lot of effort into looking at those. It might be fun to do a rerun of that when we're not mid-tournament because there's a lot of hype. Right.
Yep. I'm excited for this week's weekly as well, though. So random start with progressive enemies. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I really want to try out that flag set. I think it's going to be good. Can't really use it for the tournament because kind of promised everyone that they'd be 1 deviation from race percent. So do it in the weekly. Have some fun with it.
It looks like Boogie 10 is the boss of Moonside, and he's not gonna have a fun time with that.
No, Boogie Tent has a lot of defense, so if you're under-leveled, Boogie Tent just isn't really doable.
Yeah, but I mean, taking a death there isn't the worst because he'll end up back in Onet.
Yeah,
Get the free heal there, so that's not the worst.
Moonside boss deaths in general are pretty forgiving because you can just walk from the cafe right back down there when you decide to come back.
Yep. It gets the butterfly, so that's nice.
Ori is the first one to successfully get murdered twice and decide that he has to do Winters.
Winter's the thing that nobody wants to do unless they have to.
Yeah. This is without Eraser too, so that's like what you really don't want to do is just have to go down there.
Yep.
I'm gonna bet
Could be hoping for the eraser at
Mouse.
Apple Kid's mouse.
Yeah. I don't think their enemies were so dangerous that they have an entire Stonehenge between like where they are and those. So I don't think it's Apple Mouse, but that's a really fuzzy thing to be judging stuff by.
Yep. And Les makes a good point on progressive enemies and random start. It's a lot easier to know where to go. You're not just taking wild stabs at whatever.
Yeah, that was one of the problems with random start, especially the first version of it, where it was just kind of like guess the first check. There's been some scaling changes since then, so if you pick the second check, it's not going to be as murdery as it used to be. But yeah, progressive enemies should be fun in that combo.
Yeah, I would almost argue that if the race default is going to be random start, progressive enemies might be a good default as well.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. Though, one of my concerns with that is just that progressive enemies is what Ancient Cave does. You don't want to step on their toes too much.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Just taking out the skate punk.
Yeah, I don't know if random start's going to be a default in the next season. It's really close. Might even just add a second default flag set to do random start progressive enemies.
So looks like ChargingCharles may have leveled up enough to be able to take down Frank.
Oh, that'll be very good for him if he actually does just get through here. I don't know if that was levels or... We did get one level from beating the first Moonside enemy, but also just the equipment from Moonside.
Yep. And he got some good experience from taking on 2 or 3 sharks there outside the cafe, so...
Yeah, these are not bosses you really want to be dealing with under-leveled, though.
No, not at all.
Looks
especially Minibar for early, who will...
Yeah, make you... Oh, it just goes down right away. It looks like Rockin' is fire in this seed. So, for anyone who hasn't been in the round of 8 yet, we have shuffled PSI, and whatever's in the rocket slot gets named Rockin', but it could be any of the offensive PSIs there. Oh yeah, and hello to everyone in chat. I recognize a lot of these names. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good time.
But having fire for those 2 bosses is actually pretty clutch.
Yeah, the fire works really nicely on Trillion Sprout and his goons.
The goons.
Goons.
As long as they're not, smiling orbs or whatever.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Just explode on you.
Yeah, those aren't so fun. Well, they are a lot of fun. They're just, the mean kind of fun.
Yep. So it looks like Aurilliux is taking the heal. He's made it through the toughest enemy for Earthbound speedrunners with the protoplasm.
Aurilliux has been experimenting with Brick Road. I think he's the only one who's found all 3 of the versions of Brick Road's speech after you beat his dungeon.
Really? Yeah. That's fun. I don't think about the heal out of there because I usually am able to at least get 2 of the 3 skips.
Yeah, there's hello Tiastrante. There's like a classic speedrunning trick where you go into his dungeon and then leave immediately, and then it makes all the enemies despawn. And now in PK Scramble, that makes him really upset.
Yeah.
Brick Road
Yeah, he
Booster.
tells you. The one that I've seen is when he yells at you, tells you to go back through and use the pencil eraser.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's the one I was talking about. It looks like Charles is heading off to Mole Cave, which Aurilliux didn't check, so we don't actually know if it's like a reasonable scaling in logic.
Yeah, could be.
Did you see what Perkle
We
item
could-
was?
I did not. I was not even paying attention to it.
Yeah, me neither. Looks like I also just missed what the mine item is. Looks like a tiny ruby in mouse item, so that is not useful yet. But Ori has found repel sandwiches, which are very useful. So it's definitely getting something out of there. And Charles has found that big league bat in the desert. I'm gonna assume that means that this bison is going to murder him, but yeah, that's terrible. But that's a really
Yep.
nice pickup.
There it is.
Yeah, so I think we can assume that the mole cave is not necessary today, because it is in this desert with these terrifying buffalo.
It's like he is going to check out Winners now, or Forside.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
he's gonna head back to Moonside. Makes sense. I'm picking up levels, doing the usual, and avoiding winters.
Forget the bat, buddy. Don't forget the bat. I think he was able to equip it before the buffalo
I thought he
attacked him.
equipped it. Yeah.
He was in the menu while the buffalo was attacking him. So
Yeah. Leslie, I definitely agree with you, but it does waste like maybe 40 seconds to do it. So a lot of people, if they're feeling confident, will skip that. Gotta save that 40 seconds and,
but
put like 4 minutes on the line.
but it looks like the Guardian is not friendly.
Yeah, so it's definitely good that Ori decided to take that safety save. Let's see if he rolls back and does it again, or just nopes out.
And Chargles takes down
That's interesting. Ori just picked up some peanut cheese
Moonside
bars.
pretty easy.
It's a police badge. That's huge. If he can beat the cops, then he's gonna get another kid check out of it.
And he gets the exit mice.
Yeah. Looks like Ori's gonna try to grind, and all of these tons and tons of enemies just stop spawning.
Bear.
Bear. We have a cave boy.
He's able to get
are,
the cave boy.
Cave boys are one of the very few enemies in this game.
And he's hitting it for one.
Yeah. One of the very few. Looks like he might have reset because his she just died. Charles is following a mouse into an ambush.
His stream might have.
Is his whole stream dead?
This might be what. Yeah.
Ori has satellite internet, so sometimes bad things happen to him. I'm gonna see if I can get him back up. Comcast.
Looks like Chargles is going to be able to take down the cops pretty easy. So I think that was the play. With the sprite of Plague Rat guarding the door.
It is a very nice sprite. Messianic out of those. He also made. Oh, alright. Sorry, please mute. Sorry about that, everyone. Trying to get Ori's stream back up.
I think he's back. He ended up beating the Guardian while we were gone.
Yeah, I just have to convince Streamlink that he's back.
I have him up on I have his stream up so I can still take a look, see what he's got. So Chargles was able to take down oh boy. Chargles was able to take down Plague Rat pretty easy, so he's gonna get access to Tucson, which also gives him the exit mice.
Yeah. It looks like we have a nasty gram from Twitch, but soon we'll have Aurilliux back.
Yep.
That's kind of interesting that Ori's managed to pick up Repel Witches and Charles has picked up Exit Mice. So they have the two big speed tools between the two of them.
And Charles could get some repel sandwiches if he goes back to Dusty Dunes.
Oh, that's true. There is a guaranteed one there.
Yes, Charles mad moves to dodge those bugs.
Bugs.
The
Bouges?
bugs. The boogies.
Or it might just be yet another spelling of bourgeoisie, because nobody can figure out how to spell that. Let's see if that countdown is correct, and we have Aurilliux back.
Aurilliux is offline again.
Oh no! Oof, rough.
Now is not the time. But it looks like Charles is going to give the wad of bills to the manager. That'll give him access to a kid check. Purple screen of death. No.
Purple screen of death. Okay. Streamlink says he's back. Let's try.
All right, he's back. So, eraser is what the purple item is.
Yeah. But we do get another Twitch nastygram. So let's see if his stream saves. Oh, you say eraser was purple item?
Yeah.
That's big. Because of course Aurilliux has already done Winters and did not have the eraser.
Yep. So that's a potential double dip for.
Yeah. We'll see if that ends up looking like an important item.
Why? Aurilliux does not seem happy about having a double dip Winners potentially.
I don't have his stream up yet because I am watching the purple screen of death. Here we go.
Yep, he got the Tony call, and his meme was just "why" with a bunch of exclamation marks.
That's.
So he must realize that he has to go back to Winners probably.
Oh man, that's really funny timing for that call too. This poor
so
dragon.
early.
Yeah, just early on finding out you're gonna have a bad time.
Charles making his way on the runaway 5 bus. No enemies are following him, unfortunately.
I wonder if Ori actually finished off. Oh yeah, I think he finished off that sanctuary while he was purple screened. Though.
Yep, he did. He got the rainy.
Nice.
What is that? Rainy.
Rainy circle.
I always forget the name. Rainy circle. Yeah, I always forget the names of the names of sanctuary. I just call it plague rat or shroom sanctuary.
I don't have that problem, but I do always get Rainy Circle and Milky Well mixed up. They're both just strange and damp in mid-game.
Yep. Milky Well is would not be a fun place to get stuck.
No, I bet it smells terrible. All
Unless it's the orange one, and then it could be orange juice.
Milky orange juice. I don't think you should mix milk and orange juice. All right, Charles is going to pick up another kid, hopefully. Could be a flying man, could be a teddy bear.
Could be a teddy.
What is it going to be?
It is Paulo. Which is good, because that gives him 2 checks back in Tucson.
Yeah, well, it's just one more check in Tucson.
Well, I don't know if he did the Apple Kid.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. And that sequences really well when you end up doing both of those together. Right, Ori's going to find his murder desert. Let's see if he can pick up the shyness book. Yeah. He's actually going for the shyness book. That's a little surprising. I wonder if he realizes that this is out of his depth and just wants the items. Looks like not, because he didn't.
Could be. Nope. Yeah, he took the snake.
He took the snake.
And looks like he is
let's hope he
not going to have a good time with that snake.
A bad snake time. Looks like he's stopping to think. Maybe just stopping the die? Let's stop in the die.
Yep.
This poor dragon.
So unfortunately, Charles sold the I think he's maybe he didn't. I thought he dropped the shield killer. I think he just moved it to Paula to sell it. So that's nice.
Oh, looks like Ori just pulled a giant brain play, and it was actually taking an
he did the
intentional
death warp. That's what it was.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if he realized that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he was planning it by the time he was rolling down from that snake. I don't know if he just saw Shyness Book.
That was the big brain play.
Yeah. Did he just see Shyness Book and was like, oh, this is how I can die? Yeah, that last death was very nicely done. I actually haven't seen somebody pull off a death warp too often.
Yeah, but that was brilliant. Oh my god, I'm impressed.
Yeah, very well done, Ori.
I don't know if he planned it while
Yeah.
if he just remembered that's where he would end up, and he was like, oh.
Yeah. I wonder how long that was planned. Though I think it might have been a little better realizing that mole cave was probably like post Gygas to repel sandwich in there and pick up some of the items.
Yep. Hopefully, it seems post Gygas. Hopefully,
Yeah, hopefully they're
having
not.
to go back down to deep darkness would be a rough place,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing some deep darkness seeds. We haven't had too many.
especially in the deep darkness, the deepest darkness.
The deepest
Bracket.
darkness of the danger bracket. Neither of these runners are in the danger bracket yet, but one of them will be.
As I told Aurilliux before, I'm rooting for him because I want to get beat by him again in the finals to prove that I am truly number 2.
Are you the second strongest mole?
Yes, definitely the second strongest mole. Okay, question while I have you here, J. Tolmar.
Yeah, what's up?
Is I don't know if I was seeing things, but do the moles in Mole Cave change what they, if they're the third? I could have sworn I saw them arguing over who was the second strongest at one point.
They do not change what number they're arguing about. They will. Some of their text is changed, but it's just changed to reflect which boss they are. So it'll be like, I'm the third strongest guardian of this cave. We're all strongs, of course. That sort of thing.
Must have just been seeing things, but would be a fun Easter egg.
It would be kind of funny. One of the moles mentions like every different number, so it could be
right. May have just been going so fast.
Speaking of moles.
Ooh, girl. There we go.
The number 3 mole. I can never remember which.
Indeed,
mole is
the third strongest.
Yeah, like I see the blue mole, and I'm like, I should know which mole this is, but like, it's blue, but I don't.
Ooh.
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 Jeez.
Not good.
Rough times for Mr. Dargan.
The gut. I don't know if that was a gut save or a
Zivic gut save or incredible timing.
It looked like it stayed on one for a while, so I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't look at too many presents and didn't take any fights, so he doesn't know just how deep this is.
But I think he got a couple presents. One of them was a broken spray can, so that may lead you to think that this isn't too far in.
Oh yeah, that could. Unfortunately, the broken spray can is just at every depth.
Right. Makes me wonder if this is going to be required, because he definitely didn't take any fights here. He used all repel sandwiches.
Yeah. I'm wondering if he wants to redo this, he'll have to take a reset so he still has all his sandwiches. And it looks like that's not what he's doing.
Yep. Looks like he's just going for a rest. And
yep, he still has this save. He can do the run back. And if Charles has the same tough time in here, then it's not really going to be a problem for Aurilliux. Looks like he is running back without repel witches. There's actually a repel witch vendor in that spot, so.
Oh, there was. The Cape Man in there had repels?
Yeah, that's where Ori got all of his earlier.
Okay.
So far, not too far into the seed.
Looks like he might just be trying to take some fights to.
Yeah, making some levels. These Starmen actually are pretty good places to get levels off of because they have like just dumb moves.
Yep. As long as he has some PP left over.
Yeah. Chargles is getting the zombie paper call.
Where was the zombie paper? I did not see the message.
I missed it.
Too fast.
We've seen it already.
He's going too fast.
Yeah, we're just having a rough time in here. The non-Starman enemies are very dangerous.
Yeah, the spooks are no joke with their freeze.
Yeah, there's some dangerous spooks. He is picking up levels on every fight, though.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
let's
that's
look around.
1,800 experience is no joke.
Yeah, that's actually kind of surprising that Charles got the phone call since he should have already picked up the paper. Though there is a tiny bug where if you apply the paper but don't actually use it, the call will still go through.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, one of
And
these
then the
is
eraser erased itself.
yeah, nice little quality of life feature. Um, yeah, Caitlin, one of the rooms in this dungeon we have dubbed the worst room in the game, and when I mentioned it, all of the runners knew which room I meant.
Hmm.
It's a little bit ahead of where Charles is right now, so we can point it out when they run past.
But yeah, but with the with Charles with that big league bat, he can probably
Yeah, that's
do some
true.
damage
He
in
does
here.
got that big league bat. Looks like Ori's bailing, gonna pick up some of the other areas. Hopefully he'll be able
Check
to.
on Moonside.
He won't be able to hold on to that save all the way to 3 though, because there is a autosave back there still.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this section has stressful music and stuff too, and no repel sandwiches in vanilla. Yeah, I believe the next room after where Charles is right now is this bend.
Room.
Yeah,
Worst
this.
room in
Yeah, this is
the
the worst
game.
room in the game. It's just this little bend.
Yep. Yep. So there's always a ton of spawns.
Yeah, there's a tiny place with way too many spawns. It's not even like a dramatic place to have a ton of spawns.
I always call it the S curves.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny hieroglyphic curves in here. Or he found a toothbrush and didn't immediately throw it on the ground. But does throw a hard hat immediately on the ground. That shows where his priorities are.
That toothbrush could be handy in this next fight.
If he had more than one kid, yes. It's also good for the end game Easter egg, of course. Alright, so far, Ori is a bit behind. He's taken quite a few unfortunate deaths. And Charles seems to be picking up a dungeon that Ori was not able to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Charles also has that big league bat, which is gonna come in pretty handy for most of the seed, I imagine.
Yeah, that's near the cap of what you get in Forsank. He picked that up from like a out of depth area, so very good find for him.
Yep. Boogie Temp making Aurilliux cry.
Yeah. Looks like Charles has a lot more levels than Ori did coming through here.
Indeed, because he has Starstorm.
He has Freeze.
He also has a second character, which makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I saw that Freeze on Ness is going to help a ton.
Mm-hmm. But Aurilliux was able to take down fake evil Manny Manny.
Yeah, so he's got a few... Oh, he didn't have...
It's that police badge.
He didn't realize that he didn't have enough room for it. And this poor monkey is just going to run into the wall repeatedly until Ori sorts out his inventory.
I love that.
I think that's actually vanilla too.
Well, he doesn't give you anything in vanilla, so
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I'm just dumb.
he tells you that the person's gonna deliver it to you, and the person tells you he dropped it.
Oh boy, Earthbound. That's right, Makura. Looks just like you remember it, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely remember this rat walking me into a room with a bunch of cops.
I remember the cops. We don't have enough random flags on to not remember the cops.
But the one time we did have random flags on, and there were a bunch of ducks in there, was pretty good.
Duck cops. Alright, looks like these are going to be easy comps for Ori. I'm kind of wondering if he's going to do another Death Warp before picking up the kid. Because there is an autosave after the Runaway 5.
Right. Ori's window theme is the spring theme, I believe,
That's
if
right.
I remember correctly. I was trying to
Wait,
get him
sorry.
to go with the casino theme, but
This one's actually the summer
he'd
theme.
already lost all his money. Oh, it's the summer theme. Okay. Charles going back to Tucson to probably pick up those 2 checks after sleeping and getting those zombies out of the way. No need to go to Saturn Valley quite yet.
Yep, there's 2 checks right here. I do like the sequence a little better, going the other order for them, but it's not a
Yep.
huge deal. There is a
Yep.
patch in the Earthbound Speedruns Discord with most of the quality of life patches. It's just an IPS somewhere in the general channel.
Mm-hmm. Look up, believe that it's called Runbound if you search for it.
That's a different one. The one that I'm talking
Or
about
is it, is,
it's a EB Speed Hacks, and it's only available in the
okay.
Discord.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I guess you're right. Runbound does have a lot of other things in it.
yeah. Well, so does this. It just has, Repel Witches run patch, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Looks like there's okay pendants on the Berglund Vendor again. So, very nice pickup.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, you always want to find those. It's just kind of needed for Gygus.
In 4 Sank, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're not going to be racing 8 Sank.
Probably not going to find rain pendants in 4 Sank.
Though actually, the racers have been so fast that, like, we might be able to race some 8 Sank someday. A Repel Sandwich is a replacement for the Skip Sandwich because they always have run available. And the Repel Sandwich acts like a repel in Pokemon. It disables enemy spawns for a set amount of time. It's the exact same amount of time that Skip Sandwich would. So a regular Repel Sandwich is 10 seconds, and a Repel Sandwich DX is 20 seconds.
And Charles just found those DX sandwiches in the Berglund Park, so...
Yeah, Berglund Park, loaded again. Pretty frequent thing. There's no item named Rando yet. I was actually working on that earlier today. Like, scoping out how much more work I have, and it's a lot.
Yep. So, jar of fly honey, so... Looks like Charles might be heading over to Saturn Valley. I didn't see what Berglund or whoever Berglund was gave him.
Yeah, I didn't either. That's interesting with the fly honey, because it doesn't have nearly as many things that it unlocks this seed as it can. It's just the teleport in the sanctuary, because they already have all of the Eagleland cities open.
Yep, or he took the Casey bat.
Yeah, or he might be feeling like he's behind and just picking up a high variance item.
And Charles, I don't believe, dropped the Casey bat either, so...
I don't see it on Ness.
Okay, maybe he did.
Yeah, I don't think he has it.
But Ness also has a full inventory, so...
Yeah, he has that big league bat too, which means it's less important for him.
Absolutely. Unless you're Ness Rocker, who the other night was saying he prioritizes the offense over
anything.
The, hit rate.
The Casey bat does perform better than a lot of the bats, up to about the minor league bat, if you're willing to put up with that variance.
Yep, but if Ness has offense is greater than consistency, I agree. But if Ness has some pretty good PSI, it kind of doesn't matter because you're probably not going to be attacking with him a whole lot anyway.
Yeah, it has some interesting effects where the accuracy isn't taken into account on green swirls, so you can green swirl and kill enemies very easily with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it looks like the vendor outside tunnel doesn't have anything good, which I always forget to check him.
Really? He's right there.
I know. I never checked him in vanilla, so I just go right by him. Same with the caveman. I'm learning my lessons, though.
Oh, yeah. Both of them aren't that consistent on having something good, but they also can both have repel witches, which is really what you're looking for a food stand.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. And the one time I really was hurting for repel sandwiches, I was like, as soon as I left Winners, I was like, the caveman definitely did. And then I went back afterward and checked after I finished the seed, and lo and behold, he had repel sandwich DX.
Oof. Yeah.
Total feels bad, man.
A lot of runners are also checking the like just the plain bakeries for those repel sandwiches, like Honor Bakery. There's actually one in Forsyth that everyone forgets about.
Yep.
outside of the department store.
Yep. And then inside the department store in Tucson as well.
Mm-hmm. And inside of the department store in
Charles
Forsyth.
taking. Yep.
Yeah.
Charles taking some Fabi experience.
Yeah, they're just like a nice little gift along your way.
That place where he just took that has a high spawn rate of Fabi, so that's probably why he didn't use his repel sandwich right away. But and he gets caught. Teddy bear gets caught.
Yeah. Yeah, repel sandwiches in
Always the
Belchbitch,
teddy bear.
Repel sandwiches in this area are really awkward because you kind of want them on Grapefruit Falls. Sorry. Grapefruit Falls on the way up, but then there's a Fabi room you kind of don't want to repel, and then there's a bunch of awful tiles right after the Fabi room.
Yep. Lots of little slimy piles and the flies.
Yeah, those aren't great fights. Though it looks like Charles is just way ahead of the curve right now. Probably because of that bat again.
Yep, that bat is what's bringing him ahead.
Yeah, that bat's just really pulling him through.
Yep. But Aurilliux picking up some bombs. If he can find Jeff at some point in the seed, that bazooka there will be pretty handy as well.
Oh, yeah. The bazooka actually does the exact same thing as a bomb, so it looks like he basically just bought a bazooka by buying enough bombs.
The reusable bomb.
Looks like Charles has a meteorite piece, so he's getting another teleport here. Yep. I missed what the Saturn teleport was.
I did as well.
Yeah.
Captain Strong does have some bad indigestion.
Thank you, Leslie Pro.
Summers. Okay, thank you, Liz. And here is Delam. All right, so
that's a good
another
one.
kid check, which could be anything, but Delam does give him the free heal.
Yeah. I think the kid check's the biggest thing. It's one of the quicker kid checks you can get.
Yep. And Aurilliux is sleeping to get rid of those zombies. Delam kid holding the carrot key. If it was Pooh with the carrot key, that would be key. But it's a flying man, so...
carrot key does not have any pockets, so cannot hold the carrot key.
Yep.
Flying man's not progressing.
Sorry, flying man.
Sorry, flying man, you have no pockets. Yeah, so that's actually completely useless, but only in terms of logic, because flying man is very burly.
Yeah, getting flying man early though can make or break a seed. So
yeah, so that's like multiple piles of just like offensive tools that Charles has.
Yeah, the big league bat, the flying man, a teddy bear. What more could you ask for? I wonder if Charles is going for the six kids. You know,
the 6 kids lag fest, maybe.
Yep.
This actually could still be
going for the
2-kid seed.
It is. Could be. Aurilliux going for the early paralysis on Kraken, but he didn't get it, so he's just going for it now.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about paralyzing Kraken, because it does only have a handful of moves that actually are affected by it.
Right. And he's only 50% susceptible, so...
And doesn't have that much HP. So that's the pencil eraser. I didn't notice that that's what they picked up before.
Me neither. Signed banana out of the Ruby room. Thank you, Les.
Yeah, that's a
just
very
keeping us honest.
Yeah, the most useful sanctuary, because it's the one that comes with an item.
Yep. Which looks like that's what Charles is going after now.
Yeah.
Charles just needs sanctuaries. He already turned in the meteorite piece and
has Paula,
so
yeah. Ori's still playing catch up here. I do think Ori is like getting closer to Charles, but that was quite a significant lead from the start. Now
but it looks like Ori's going over to Happy, so
yeah, it's gonna be a big routing.
See what happens. But I imagine Charles will eventually go over to Happy because he just needs sanctuaries at this point.
Yeah. Let's see, which ones does he have?
But like you said, that is a long trek.
Yeah. Hopefully Ori finds something to like help him catch up some more.
Yep. Charles' dream right now is that this the Magnet Hill gives him something like
Carrot
a
key, key to
carrot
the
key.
shaft, yeah. Yeah, another couple of sank checks and you'll be good to go. Let's see,
Yep.
he has
Oh, they already.
this Milky Well, Rainy Circle.
Yep.
Yeah, so one more.
Yeah, happy isn't the slowest. It's not too bad because if you have to double dip into happy, the bridge is back, so that saves you a decent amount of time. But it's something that you want to avoid if you have other checks.
Yeah, it is
Typically,
a double dip that takes a little extra time to do, so runners will always want to avoid those because it's a way to save some time. And that was the carrot key, so Charles is in go mode.
Charles is. So yeah, Charles didn't need to double dip winners or Saturn or happy. So good for him.
Just really everything's coming up Charles. Actually, I don't think he even needed that carrot key because with the check Ori's doing, that is a fourth sank.
Yeah.
So they have
Carrot key's nice because he doesn't have to go through
heavy. Yeah.
PRV.
We did have a seed earlier. I think it was on one of the weeklies where this ended up being the 8th sanctuary. So we'll see if we have a repeat of that over here.
And I believe, unfortunately, it's possible to have to double dip both winners and happy.
That would be rough. Or he's opting not to steal brain food lunches.
I guess you could potentially even have to triple dip happy.
Yeah, it is physically possible for that to be required.
I would not want to play that seed. I would, if I got that seed, I would probably just quit.
Looks like
But this shop is nice.
Oh, absolutely. It looks like this is the 5th sanctuary. Caitlin, the best recommendation I have for jumping into PK Scramble is just to hit the casual defaults button, load it up, give it a shot. If you feel intimidated, there's a big guide on the website. There's hint men in game will give you useful hints. Sometimes they'll give you a kind of dubious hint, but if you just go do what they say and then clear it out, they'll give you a new one afterwards. So just play through with Hitmen. You can use a tracker if you like. There's a couple linked on the website. But it really is fairly easy to get into. Just hit those default settings and take your time. Enjoy the experience.
Yeah, and the first couple seeds you do, it's good to enable the spoiler log as well. So you can go to it if you get stuck, because there are some things that aren't as straightforward, but like Jay Tolmar said, the website pretty much outlines the things that aren't as straightforward. Aurilliux getting the bad luck with the cultists. They just keep calling for help, but they're not doing a whole lot of damage to them. So
got some levels off of that at least.
Yep, I imagine the Lilliput Steps is going to be one of the first 4 sanctuaries, because these enemies seem to be pretty.
Looks like Pooh has the key to the cabin, so or he actually stopped to look at that because that is a meme. Pooh actually is the kid who has the lowest IQ stat in the game. Fun fact, relevant fact. So that's a Pooh for him.
Someone actually posted that in Discord right before this race, and my claim is that Pooh actually got confused. It's not the he thought it was the key to the cabin that he had, not the key to the shack, because everyone has made that mistake before.
I was watching early on when this first came out. I was watching a casual runner do this, and they got the keys mixed up and got lost for like half an hour because of it. And I was just like, oh no, I feel so bad.
It happens.
That's why hintmen are now, they actually do work. So if you want to run this casually and you get stuck, please talk to a hintman. They will hook you up.
Yep.
Only costs $25.
Each one only costs $25. Is that how much it is in vanilla?
No, they're all different shops, and
that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's like 35 in Oned and 150 in Summers, but
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I just made them all $25.
So Aurilliux taking advantage of the brain food lunch, but seems like Frankenstein is going to be pretty easy, especially with Pooh being pretty high level because his level is relative to where the logic is, not where he is in vanilla or even relative to your party. So
Yeah. And
that
also,
might actually work out.
picking that fight does give you some levels, too.
Yep. It looks like Charles is going in to get his last sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Aurilliux is having a pretty those moles until he gets that back attack, but the moles are pretty easy.
Yeah, Aurilliux is having like a normal speedy seed here, but unfortunately he just took a lot of depths and had a lot of trouble starting out, and so he's not going to be able to catch up, it seems. Though I'm saying that probably too soon, because Charles only has 2 kids and is going into Gygas very soon.
Yep.
Oh, that's a carbon dog. Looks like a very easy carbon dog, at least.
Yep.
Also, bear.
There it is. Bear. More bears.
More bears.
The mighty bear has been tamed.
Bears.
You would think with taming bears, the bears would be able to follow you, but no.
This is not Pokemon. Though the game engine actually has, like, you could make this Pokemon with not too much assembly hacking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bears are so happy. That's why I love them. It probably doesn't take much to tame them. They're just so happy.
The bear looks slightly nervous, but very happy to see you.
Yep. Their overworld sprite looks way happier, but
that battle sprite always kind of struck me as somewhat grandmotherly.
We've all been there.
We've all been grandmothers.
Yeah,
Oof, wow, they've both found an awful boss just now.
Ooh, but this is the 4th, so it won't be as bad, but whew, not who you want to see.
Yeah, I think this is 4th. It's not as bad as whatever it was that Charles had for 5th.
Yep. But again, Pooh seems pretty stacked in this seed, and he has the Psychic Shield, so that'll make Gygas a lot faster, too. So that's nice.
Charles is avoiding a photo trigger. Alright, so Charles is doing his final shopping for the Gygas trip already. So everyone should start getting in your guesses for who Gygas' assistant is going to be. As always, I'm going to be guessing Frank, and I believe we have another Frank fan in chat with us.
The real question is...
That's right, Caitlin.
It's Shroom, and you need to prove why it's not going to be Shroom.
To prove why it's not Shroom. Shroom's actually always my second guess. I'm just like, let's pick an easy one, let's pick an awful one.
But Frank, depending on where he is in logic, Frank, it's not fun.
Frank can do like 700 damage, but by the time he does, 700 damage doesn't really matter anymore.
Yep.
So if Charles was in chat and not running, I bet he would be guessing Starman Deluxe.
Yeah. And Charles picking up the Horn of Life. Every music is replaced with Frank's theme.
We should just get like Frank's theme covers of all the songs in the game. Just everything in that style.
Rock and roll kind of style.
Old school rock and roll.
Yep.
I think Ori's going to show off a neat little teleport second just right now. If you don't press anything, just teleport through, you'll weave through everything and get out of there with no problem at all. And
I learned that just yesterday.
Yeah, I think I learned it from one of Ori's streams. I was like, wait, how did you do that? And he's like, no, it's just free.
Yeah, which makes sense because the previous glitchless route, especially with if you did manipulation, then only recently, probably in the last year or so, do you do Lilliput step while
oh, that's interesting.
Your first time through. So it makes sense that he would know that because previously you would double dip happy.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm wondering if we're going to end up learning new speed tricks because of the rando. It happened a lot with Link to the Past rando, where they've found a whole bunch of things that wouldn't come up in vanilla. Looks like Charles' stream is dying.
Charles' stream is now...
Hopefully he comes back, because missing the Gygas fight would be a little bit of a shame.
He's back. I had to refresh. See?
You gotta refresh. I don't even know how to.
Oh, now he's offline. Never mind.
Oh no.
He has that satellite internet as well.
Does
It
he?
looks like Ori's going for the. No, I'm just.
You're just moving on.
just
Alright.
kidding. Looks like Ori's going for another kid check, which isn't terrible because this is both a kid check, which it's probably going to be Jeff at this point, who has an item, and then also just blame Comcast. Yes, Comcast is both the source and solution to all our problems.
I don't know about that.
But yeah, if Ori gets Jeff here, like he probably should, then he gets both the item from Jeff and also gets the item from Monotoli. So not a bad play, just a little bit out of logic.
I wonder if Charles knows that he's offline.
I don't know.
I think we might end up having to honor system on when he finishes, because I'm not seeing any sign of him getting himself back online.
Right.
Power out, backup, internet not working. Oh crap.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah, we might have to we may have to reschedule this one, which is unfortunate because Charles was
Yeah.
okay. Says his internet's back up. Hopefully, his computer or his. I don't know if he's running on hardware or emulator, but
Yeah, I don't know either. We will see. I don't know how he could lose the seed from this, but he could lose his save.
yep. He's typing. He's typing. He's typing.
He's
His
typing.
stream up.
His stream up. He looks like he's still doing it. Alright, we will just commentate on whatever he mentions in our chat.
Oh, it's back up.
Oh, he's back up. Alright.
Looks like he didn't lose his seed because he's on Geica still.
Yeah.
He's already praying.
Alright, here
I
we
think that was the second prayer, if I remember correctly.
You
First
made a
prayer,
order?
actually. That was the first one. Geigus just went unstable.
There we go. Alright, sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody. Yeah,
Ori's menuing is quite smooth.
It's kind of impressive that he's also managed to adapt to the faster menus in PK Scramble.
Right, right. Alert, alert, Paula's gonna die.
Alert, alert, that poor Paul.
I didn't see what Jeff's item nor what Monotoli gave him, but...
Oh no, I was so busy troubleshooting practice crap.
But he still has the super plush bear, which is... that must have been the validation check.
And thank you, Caitlin.
Monotoli gave Franklin badge.
Wow, I hope... I don't know, it's kind of wild that the routes they took are so divergent. And it's not like Ori's behind because of those divergences either. He's behind because of early deaths.
Yep. But the super plush bear might make it through.
Bear.
The bear.
Bear.
Bear strats, baby.
Yeah, unfortunately, Plush Bear doesn't help too much in Geiga's fight. All of his attacks are AoE.
It's more impressive if it survives.
Oh, definitely. The other thing that can actually hit the bear, though, is the thunder, because bears are immune to freeze. And flash.
Yep.
So are flying men.
So looks like Ori's heading to Saturn Valley.
Yep, makes sense. It did end up being acquired. I don't know what just red swirled him. That was unfair.
I think it was a fly. Yep.
Yeah, I just didn't see the fly. Perhaps he'll die.
And it looks like, yep.
All right, looks like Charles is gonna be getting through this. He's not in that rough of shape, and he's on second to last prayer.
Yep.
He's absorbed by the darkness. And this is it unless Gygas is completely bullshit. And he's not sufficiently. Alright, that'll be it for Charles. GG Charles.
GG Charles.
GG.
Taking down Aurilliux.
Yeah, it's going to be making Aurilliux fans a little grumpy, but we can see him in the danger bracket in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for more of those. Oh yeah, another sub-hour. We actually had a lot of sub-hours during the qualifiers to this. The actual tournament has been slower.
Mm-hmm. That ass kept playing.
That ass kept praying. Take now, I will. Okay.
Oh, and Car Painter was the assistant.
Yeah, I guess this is one way to find
wrong.
out. We were all wrong. Oh, it looks like Ori's stopping. Must have seen that the race is finished. Behind everything.
Yep. Looks like Aurilliux is
gonna forfeit out here.
Yep.
He's not actually hit the forfeit button, but he's certainly acting like it.
All right, Charles is awaiting being pulled in.
Oh, yeah,
So I'll let you do the honors.
Pull him in. Good race, Charles. How are you feeling?
Sorry about the hiccup.
Oh yeah, that was a bad one.
So we're out of my house. They blipped out for like a second, and I thought, son of a bee, man. No, that's how the modem went out, and it kicked back in about 30 seconds later, but it looks like the stream didn't go live. I think it went out probably entering Gygas.
Yeah, we missed.
It went out pretty early, I think.
Yeah, we missed Gygas phase 1 and 2 and some of the walk in the cave of the past.
Yep.
Yeah, Gygas phase 1 was Car Painter. And I broed it out. Took a lot of thunders because he was Gygas was using some thunders as well, and so that was some fires there. So we took some damage quick, but thanks to Flying Man, we got through phase 1. He attacked who he should have been attacking. And that made it easy. I think the key was going desert. That was a nifty little exploration. I got the big league bat early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've commented on the big league back quite a few times. The desert was very clearly like way too deep.
Yep. And once I saw that buffalo was really hurting me, I thought I'd check a couple easy presents, and really those two weapons carried me the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, Aurilliux managed to use the desert in a completely different way, where he needed a death warp back to Stonehenge and just like went into the mines and died to a snake. So you both managed to get some use out of that, but yours was more like pulling ahead of the entire seed, and his was like fixing something that had already started to go catastrophically wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say my Moonside death I thought would set me back, so I thought it was maybe getting a little too reachy, but I think simply that was just I had the correct bat. Like I wasn't taking much damage, but I wasn't doing anything. So I could tell that was probably just on the way. I just didn't get any good draw with the present. So I went my usual route of sticking my fingers in as far as I could and seeing what I could find before I had to go back and actually accomplish things. Mm-hmm. And once I got the big league bat, then it all pieced together pretty good. The carrot key was kind of nice because I was ready to go pencil eraser through Peaceful Rest Valley, and having that I'd happily go Pink Cloud versus that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying as you were on your way in Magnet Hill. I was like, yeah, Charles is probably hoping to see the carrot key here, and lo and behold, there it was.
And I went to Lam as well, hoping that the character item would be something that would open up just that last sank, key to the shack, something just quick and easy. And then I talked to Flying Man, and then I realized I may have made a horrible mistake because he can really mess you up with Gygas. But
yeah, you were early.
It all worked out.
You were early enough to see that having Flying Man with you is probably better than the eventual liability.
Yep.
I was wondering, at the very start of the seed, you had access to a few different places for your first checks, and you went with Moonside. Is there any reason you went with Moonside first instead of like Sharks or something?
It felt like it was probably farther up in logic, and I like the four presence there, just looking for weapons or gear.
I see. So you were like going for the equipment mostly.
Yep, yep, yeah.
Which
Any
is
any
it was interesting because it seemed like Frank and Moonside were the arcade and Moonside were probably pretty similar in logic.
Yeah. Once I died in Moonside, I forget where that's when I ended up, I think, checking Desert.
Yep.
And that's yeah. After that, I mean, it didn't matter if I went Moonside or Frank or anything with that big league bat.
Oh, big league bat.
Nothing bad could happen.
Yeah. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I actually like early Moonside as an option, since even though you died at the boss, coming back in
And
there,
I knew that was going to happen. Like when I hit one damage on the Robo Pump, I knew I was
Yep.
yeah,
for all intents and purposes, toast. But it
Yeah.
was just for the knowledge.
but the run back is
Yep.
also really quick in Moonside because once you've done that whole quest, the captain's just out of the way, so you can just do it.
Yeah, it was a pretty quick check from there. I had a feeling once I got Paula in 3 that it was just going to be a two kid seed. But yeah, my Delam check was extraneous and again really didn't have to happen. But it just was at that point I was looking for a quick and easy fourth sank besides running through
Yep.
peaceful rest.
Yep. And for the record, Pooh was the prisoner who was holding the key to the cabin.
So I
That's right.
probably would have picked him up had I gone that way.
Yeah, so something that you did miss is Aurilliux got 4 kids. Once he got
did he?
past, he got past the start of Seed Blues, dying to everything at the start, and then took a completely different route from yours that looked equally valid, but he was just behind at that point.
Where's the dispenser?
Where was the dispenser? Was it Pooh's item?
I don't remember. I think
The
it might
other
have
Pooh
been.
item then? So Pooh was holding the key to the shack and then had the dispenser.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Had
that.
to
Even
have
if it's
been
not
it.
true. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I talked with Maxwell as well. I was kind of hoping for a Franklin badge just for Gygas security. And then when Car Painter came up, I thought it could get ugly.
Yeah.
But there was also a Flying Man to absorb some of that. And I think Super Plush Bears will take a Thunder as well, won't they?
I don't know actually. We got a question in chat
Hmm.
for what was the final time, and it's 55 minutes and 3 seconds, so super fast.
Yeah, not bad. I'm happy with that one.
Not too shabby, Chargles. Not too shabby.
Getting all warmed up for the final 4.
Yeah, so speaking of the final 4, in 2 weeks you'll be up against Anda for final 4, but we're gonna be taking.
Well, it was a good ride. Well, I really don't.
You
bow
turned
out,
into a
but
robot for a second.
I'll make sure to get plenty of trash talking in the next 2 weeks.
Sounds good. And then next week we'll be having a catch-up round in the danger bracket. All of the runners who recently lost a match will just need an extra round to catch up because of the nature of double elimination tournaments. So,
All right.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, thanks for commenting. Glad it was a quick seed tonight. There'd be nothing worse than an hour and a half grinder. Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, thanks for the round. Thanks for joining us on interview.
Absolutely.
And thank you, chat, for joining us on this. Thanks, Aurilliux, for sticking through it. I know you had a toothache, so very commendable to power through and just do your run anyway.
And Charles also just woke up, so
I got my power nap in before the race.
that might be the key.
Key to victory. Unconscious. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Log off. Have a good one.
Yep.
All right.
Have a good
See
one.
ya. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Crimson Green, for joining me on chat. We have another one of these on Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. That's 2 p.m. Eastern. So see some of you around there. That'll be Catador versus Zimmy Cakes, I think.
Yep. Zimmy Cakes and Catador.
And if you're not going to come around for that strange time of day, then we have more stuff starting Monday. So hope you've all been enjoying this Scramble, and have a great weekend, everyone.
Yes, absolutely. We'll see ya.